The habit of reading is one of the greatest resources of mankind, and we know reading books that are belong to us is much more than if they were borrowed. A borrowed book, like a guest in a house, it must be treated with publicness and certain consideration. Formality, you must see the sustains and no damage. It must not suffer while under your roof. You cannot leave it carelessly. You cannot mark it. You cannot use it as familiar. And then someday, although this is seldom, you really ought to return it. But your own books belong to you. You treat them with the affection, immediacy, and inheritance. Formality. Books are used for, not used to show your own books and afraid to place it on a table wide open face down. A good reason for marking a favorite passage in a book is that a practice enables that you really remember more easily to significant saying to refer to quickly, and then it is like visiting a forest where you blaze the trail and pleasure of going over an old ground and recalling both intentional scenery and your both earlier self. Everyone should collect a private library in youth. The instinct of a private property, which fundamentally in humans can here be cultured with every advantage and no evils. One should a bookshelf which should not have doors or glass or keys. They should be free and accessible to the hand as well as the eye. The best of mural decorations is books. They have varied in color appearances than any wallpaper, and they have more extravagant in design and the prime advantage in the separate personality. So they sit alone in a room. In the firelight, you surround yourself with an inanimate friends and the knowledge that there is plain view in both stimulating and refreshing. You don't have to read them. Almost all my indoor life is spent in a room containing 6,000 books, and I have to stock answer to invariable questions that come to strangers. Have you read all these books? Some of them twice. The reply is true. There is one of the course, no friends like a living corporal men and women. My devotion to reading has never made my exclusive known. Could books are people, by for the people. What? Lecture is the immortal part of history. It is the best and most enduring part of a personality, but both book friends an advantage over living. Friends you can enjoy most truly, astrologically, society in the world whenever you want it. The great dead and beyond our physical reach, and great living our usual most of inaccessible. As for our personal friends and acquaintances, we cannot always see them. Perchance they are asleep or away on a journey, but in a private library you can have a moment of silence to converse with Socrates and Shakespeare or Carlyle or Dumas or Dickens or Shaw or Barry or Gatsworth. And there is no doubt that these books you see, these men are all their best. They wrote for you. They said they're afraid themselves. They laid themselves out, and then they ultimate best to entertain you. The affordable impressions you are necessary to them, and audience is the actor only. Instead of seeing them masked, you look into the innermost heart of heart. William Leon Phillips.